A man, driven by curiosity and an insatiable thirst for knowledge, stumbles upon an ancient, nearly forgotten library hidden deep within a crumbling estate. The air inside is thick with dust and the musty scent of old paper. While examining the decaying shelves, he notices a peculiar draft coming from behind a towering bookshelf. After some effort, he reveals a hidden door, its wood warped with age and etched with strange symbols. As the door creaks open, he is greeted by a steep, narrow staircase descending into darkness. With a flickering flashlight in hand, he cautiously begins his descent, the sound of his footsteps echoing ominously in the tight space. The walls close in as he goes deeper, adorned with cryptic, almost sinister carvings that seem to pulse with an eerie light. The further he goes, the more the air grows colder, thicker, as if the darkness itself is alive and watching. He reaches the basement, a vast, labyrinthine network of chambers that stretch far beyond what he imagined. Each room is filled with ancient, forbidden tomes bound in leather that feels disturbingly organic, and relics that exude a palpable aura of malevolence. Strange shadows dance along the walls, moving in ways that defy explanation, and the faint sound of whispering voices can be heard, though no one else is there. He lingers in these rooms, drawn to the mystery and the darkness, unaware of the danger that lurks within. As he explores further, the rooms become more twisted, more nightmarish. Strange symbols glow on the walls, and the cursed artifacts begin to hum with a dark energy. The whispers grow louder, forming incoherent chants that make his skin crawl. He tries to leave, but the passageway seems to stretch infinitely, the exit fading into an unreachable distance. Panic sets in as he realizes he's trapped. Suddenly, the cursed items spring to life. A book flies off a shelf, its pages flipping violently, releasing a shadowy figure that lunges at him. Rusted, ancient weapons detach from the walls, hovering menacingly before launching themselves in his direction. He dodges, barely escaping with his life. In another room, a grotesque statue's eyes glow red, and it begins to move, its stone limbs creaking as it advances on him with malevolent intent. As he battles through the maze of rooms, each one more terrifying than the last, the cursed objects grow more aggressive, more relentless. The walls seem to close in, the space warping and distorting, making it impossible to find a way out. Every attempt to escape is met with another horrifying challenge. Phantoms that scream in agony, mirrors that reflect twisted versions of himself, and floors that suddenly give way to bottomless pits. His flashlight flickers and dies, leaving him in near-complete darkness. The only light comes from the glowing eyes of the cursed statues and the faint, hellish glow emanating from the ancient relics. He can feel the presence of something ancient and evil watching him, growing stronger with each passing moment. Desperation sets in as he realizes that the basement itself is alive, and it wants him to remain there forever. The cursed objects close in, their malevolent energy overwhelming. The man is forced to confront the dark force that has been watching him all along, a malevolent entity that has been trapped in this basement for centuries, feeding on the souls of those who dare to enter. In search of a unique piece to add character to her home, a woman attends a dusty, dimly lit auction. Her attention is drawn to an old, ornate painting, its frame intricately carved with fading gold leaf. The artwork depicts a serene landscape with a distant mansion bathed in twilight. Despite its age, the painting exudes an unsettling aura, a quiet darkness that seems to whisper from the canvas. Compelled by an inexplicable attraction, she places the winning bid and takes the painting home. Once hung in her living room, the painting initially adds an air of antique charm to the space. However, as days pass, she begins to notice subtle changes in the artwork. At first, it's just small details, clouds that seem to shift positions, shadows that grow longer. But soon, the changes become more pronounced. The twilight deepens, casting an unnatural gloom over the landscape, and the once distant mansion now appears closer, more menacing. She brushes off these observations as tricks of the light or her imagination, but a sense of unease begins to creep into her thoughts. As more time passes, the painting's transformations grow increasingly disturbing. Figures begin to appear, shadowy, indistinct at first, but gradually becoming more defined. Their faces are twisted with anguish, their eyes hollow and staring directly at her. These figures seem to multiply, filling the canvas with a nightmarish procession of the damned. The mansion's windows glow with an eerie light, and the landscape itself seems to writhe and pulse with malevolent energy. Disturbed by these changes, the woman investigates the painting's history. She discovers a chilling pattern. The painting has been passed down through generations, and every previous owner met a mysterious, untimely death. Legends speak of the painting being cursed, trapping the souls of those who died under its influence within the canvas. The more she learns, the more she realizes that the figures in the painting are the trapped souls of the painting's previous owners. The woman's nights become plagued by horrific visions. She dreams of the mansion in the painting, now a decaying ruin filled with the anguished cries of the damned. She sees herself wandering its endless, darkened halls, chased by the shadowy figures from the painting, their whispers growing louder, more insistent, urging her to join them. The line between her dreams and reality begins to blur, and she starts seeing the figures from the painting moving out of the corner of her eye, even when she's awake. As her sanity frays, the changes in the painting accelerate. The figures are no longer confined to the canvas. They begin to emerge from the painting, their ghostly forms materializing in her home. Desperate to break the curse, the woman seeks out a way to destroy the painting. But every attempt is met with failure. The painting resists, its dark power growing stronger. In a final act of desperation, the woman decides to confront the painting head-on. Armed with what little she has learned, she tries to banish the curse, to free the souls trapped within.